On the program today, we've got a breast cancer survivor, Rumbidzai Kanhukamwe. I will let her introduce herself and we get along with it.
Thank you so much, Lovejoy. I am Rumbidzai Kanhukamwe. I am 37 years old. I am a breast cancer survivor. I'm married and I have 2 kids.
Okay. Rumbidzai, take us through your journey, how you found out about breast cancer. What did you do when you found out? How was the reaction from the moment that you found out?
Okay, I found a lump in my left breast and I knew it was just not an ordinary lump. So I went to the doctor and I was taken through some tests and I was told that it wasn't cancerous, it was a non-malignant tumor. So they say that I had what they term a fibroadenoma, which is in no way cancerous. And I relaxed for a bit because I hated to hear that I hated to think that I had cancer. So I relaxed for a bit and because the tumor kept growing and what I was told about the fibroadenoma, the characteristics of a fibroadenoma did not tally with what was happening to me. So I had to go back nagging now and to tell them I don't think this is a fibroadenoma, I think it's something else. So that's how I found out later on that it was indeed cancer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, after you found out that you had been diagnosed with cancer, please take us through your journey. What did you do from there on? How did you feel? And up until you got chemotherapy?
Okay. I think, Lovejoy, everyone would not want to hear about the C word. I think it's the most scary disease ever. So yeah, when I found out that it was cancer, I was obviously shocked because I never thought it would happen to me. Not because I'm special or anything, but because I did not have a family history of cancer. So that alone just made me reluctant to think that I would one day catch cancer. So being told that it was actually cancer made me panic. I panicked, I was shocked, I was devastated, I actually cried, I was depressed as well, and I thought I was dying. Yeah, I can say that's how I found out and that's how I reacted.
Okay, and then the treatment itself, just take us through in detail how and where you got it, who administered it to you, how long it took up until now that you are cancer free.
When you are diagnosed with cancer, they give you a plan, like a treatment plan, and every treatment plan is different from the other. My cancer was advanced, that's one. It was stage 3 and it was grade 3. That's a type of cancer that moves very fast. So I was given a very aggressive type of treatment and a very aggressive type of chemotherapy. So I had to do my chemotherapy, of which I had 8 sessions of chemotherapy. I also had to do my radiotherapy and surgery. So what started was chemotherapy before the surgery. So I did my chemotherapy, and we all know chemotherapy is chemotherapy. It's very, very unfriendly to the body. It takes a toll on your body. It kills even the healthy cells. It retards the growth of the hair, like all hair that is on your body. It just retards the growth, and I was bowed for some months. I lost my lashes, I lost my hair, I lost everything that is hair on the body. And it also tampers with the pigmentation of the skin. So yeah, chemotherapy is chemotherapy. It's not a funny thing, it's not a walk in the park. But I thank God because I managed to go through all my sessions. I did 8 of them with no complications, and I thank God for that. Mm-hmm. So after the chemotherapy, that's when I had to do the surgery. I had 2-in-1 surgery. It's called mastectomy and reconstruction. So yeah, I had my breast removed, but they saved the skin and the nipple, and then they reconstructed the breast. So I still have my 2 girls with me. So I don't feel any less of a woman because I'm still okay.
Okay, where did you get this chemotherapy treatment, and did you have confidence that one day you'd walk out, with both your breasts firmly there, if I can put it across the way?
Yes, I had confidence. I had my treatments not locally. I had them in SA. So yeah, my chemotherapy I did in SA. There's a hospital called Millpark Hospital. That's where I was getting treated. I was under the care of a professor who is actually a specialty doctor in breast cancer treatment. Her name is Carol Ben, Professor Carol Ben. So she took great care of me, and she told me that we would beat it, and I had all the trust that we would beat it because of the confidence that she exuded. And we just beat it. We had no option but to beat it. And also because of the type of chemotherapy that I was giving, it was 3 medicine in one, and I would actually get my chemo every 3 weeks, and we did that for 6 months. So yeah, I had confidence that we would beat it. And you would see yourself turning black, brown, gray, and you would know that the chemotherapy is working.
But turning black, brown, gray, how did that make you feel from an emotional point of view? Did that eat you up? Did you at some point think you were going to die?
Not really. I was very prepared for the fight. Like, I just told myself, I have to fight this. Rumbi, you have to live for your kids. You have to fight. You have to prove that all the promises in the Bible are true. So I actually said to myself, I want the world to know that cancer is not just a death sentence, but it can also be beaten. So I had to beat it to show the world that there is a God up in heaven, to show the world that the God that says that I am the God that healeth thee really heals. So I had to live, I had to fight because of that. So I had confidence that I would fight, and here I am.
Mm-hmm. And then, like you were saying that you thought you were going to die. There are a lot of women that when they get cancer, be it breast cancer or any form of cancer, they think that it's the end of the world. And most of them, unfortunately, they die probably because of, one, they find out late, 2, they might not have the resources to have the treatment that you might have gone through. What are some of the things that you could tell them in as far as preparing themselves mentally is concerned?
Okay. Yes, in the beginning I thought I would die, but I had to counsel myself. I didn't get any counseling from any doctor. I was just diagnosed of cancer and told that I had to start on chemotherapy before I went to South Africa. Even when I got to SA, I didn't get any counseling from any doctors, probably because they thought since I was coming from Zimbabwe, I had already gotten my counseling. So sometimes you may be one of the unlucky women like I was to be diagnosed and not get counseling. So if you find yourself in that situation, just counsel yourself. The first thing is to calm, put your trust in God, hope a lot, and tell yourself you can fight. I think that's all you need. Advocate for your health, advocate for your life. You have to be this person so full of faith that you would live, faith that you will make it, faith that you have your own story that is totally different from the rest of the other people. Cancer kills, yes, it's a fact, but just tell yourself it will not kill me.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about counseling and mental health, recently we commemorated World Mental Health Day, mm-hmm. and you're talking about lack of counseling, especially in some women. How does that affect one, especially from the point of being diagnosed up until you call it remission?
Yes.
Remission, right?
Yes.
If someone does not get that counseling, what would happen to them? What will likely happen to them?
Because of the superstitious beliefs that surrounding cancer, that cancer kills, and because of the superstitious beliefs surrounding cancer that it's untreatable, it's uncurable. So if you don't get that counseling, you tell yourself, I'm dying, so you are sleeping maybe and thinking, I would wake up dead. I may not wake up actually. You go to bed and think, I may not wake up. You live your days in fear of death. So counseling is really important. You really have to counsel yourself. If you don't get any counseling, you have to tell yourself, like what I was saying, that you tell yourself, I have to be hopeful. I have to be fearless. I really have to be a fighter, and you can fight it. Yes.
And then talking about the type of screening that we have here in Zimbabwe, I understand you got your treatment here. I mean in SA, but here in Zimbabwe we already have what I can say a health crisis, and a lot of women might not be able to access health facilities. Do you have confidence in the type of facilities that we have in Zimbabwe that they can detect cancer early?
Yes, I do, and I would not want to say that we have a health crisis here in Zimbabwe, but I would want to actually say that Zimbabweans make a lot of noise about the health system that we have. But I think when it comes to analyzing the third world countries, and Zimbabwe being one of them, we may not have the perfect health system, but it's still good. Screening is screening. Testing for cancer is testing for cancer. The same way that they test for cancer here is the way that they test for cancer in SA where I went. It's not something that is complicated. The testing part of it and the screening part of it, it's nothing complicated. It's just the ordinary. Like any woman can test themselves by examining their breasts for any lumps and checking their armpits to see if they can find any lumps. I think that's the first step, because normally the breast cancer comes in the form of lumps. When it manifests, it comes in the form of lumps. So any other person can do it. And even some women, I've met some women that say, my husband is the one that noticed the lump first, because when the husbands touch those breasts and whatever they will be doing, I don't know, but they can feel those lumps actually. They can actually feel those lumps.
Mm-hmm. Talking about family, husbands, we were at that function during the weekend,
Yes.
and one of the things that came out was that you had support from your husband, from the family. What is the importance of family support in the recovery process?
Yes. I think with cancer, no one really fights alone. And you need a really strong support system to fight with you. And the first support system that you can think of as a human being is family. Family is all weather, it doesn't leave you, it's always with you. And I had my family to fight this thing with. So they supported me. They supported me with prayer. They supported me in all ways actually. So yeah, you really need family, a strong support system to be with you, because it's not easy. When you are alone, then you start to think, maybe I will die, maybe I will do this, maybe. And when people just continue to show care and love, when they give you love, you don't feel lonely, you don't feel rejected, and that's important. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I might say as well, I'm also learning, and I learned a lot from the function that you held on Saturday.
Yes.
You mentioned something about the Red Devils. That's something that stuck with me. Please explain to us what that is in the cancer world.
The Red Devil is a type of chemotherapy. So it's just a type of chemotherapy. But what it does is it's not oral chemotherapy. It's administered intravenously. That's the Red Devil. So it looks red, like the color is red. That's why we call it the Red Devil, because that's the most harsh drug that I got that time. And That's why we term it the devil, the red devil. It's red in color and it's harsh. So yeah, it's actually the one that had to that went with the hair. It's the one that caused the discoloration of the skin, the discoloration of my body. It takes away the pigmentation. Yes.
Then probably one of the key elements to recover is the diet itself. How did you manage to balance between the diet and the medication?
Diet is one of them, but I would want to say that my doctors said to me, when you are going through chemotherapy just tempers with your appetite. And what you do is whatever that you want to eat, whatever that you feel like you want to eat, whilst you are on chemotherapy, just eat that. Just eat anything. Because you can't choose when you're on chemotherapy. Like, if you feel you want beef, if you feel you want chicken, if you feel you want pizza, just eat whatever, in moderation though. So, yeah.
And obviously we can't ignore the fact that the body goes through changes. Did you go through any changes that you felt maybe this is not my body, this is not me?
Yes, I did. It's funny because most of the people, they actually lose weight with chemo, but I gained a lot of weight. I was all puffed up, like I had so much weight, but I'm losing the weight now. I'm shading it off. I'm exercising, and I'm now very particular about what I eat. So I'm starting to trim. Yes.
Then let's talk about the life after chemo. How has it been for you? Do you feel do you have flashbacks that affect you? I don't know. Do you have anything negative or some positives for life after?
Life after chemotherapy, I would say that you will not go back to the same old person that you were before chemotherapy. Yes. Chemotherapy is a strong treatment, like I said before. So yeah, you find yourself that you will have a new normal, and you start to feel very tired oftenly. As of me, I would say that I may be up and running for maybe 3-4 hours. I may be up and running, and then I feel I'm getting tired. I just want to rest. So life after chemotherapy is just like that. You have short days. You feel tired, and you just have to rest. That's life after chemotherapy. And also it comes with hot flashes. You just feel like you are in your own oven. You are burning there. So you would find that most of the people that go through chemotherapy, most of the times they are fanning themselves. They are maybe wearing very light material clothes and just trying to find some air because of those hot flashes. But with time, they start to go away. Yes.
There are women probably who are scared to go and get checked for one or two reasons. What would you say to them?
I would say that, like I said before, advocate for your own health. Hey, you woman that are afraid to go and get checked. It's better to be diagnosed early than to be diagnosed late. Actually, go now, because cancer has got stages. If you are found to have cancer, you'll be staged. So I would say that early diagnosis saves lives. If you are diagnosed at early stages, you have higher chances of survival. You have good prognosis outlook compared to when you are diagnosed at an advanced stage. You may not be lucky like me. I was stage 3. It was advanced, but I managed to fight it. But I would not advise anyone to not want to get checked. Go and get checked. That's all I can say.
Are you using your experience from your illness, from the chemo up until now, are you using it maybe to impart the knowledge on other women?
Obviously. Yes.
Do you have support groups or maybe a group of women that you're working with?
I've been a loner in this journey. Like when it comes to the to the campaigning, to the awareness programs, and I just do it by myself. Like if you if you check on my status, my status, like my WhatsApp status, almost every day, I'm sending something to do with cancer. I'm sending awareness messages. I'm making noise about it. Yeah. So yeah, I also do it like if I come across any women that I feel that they may need some advice, I just tell them, you have to get checked. You have to know your body, know your boobs, especially when it comes to breast cancer. You should have knowledge of your boobs, because the changes that will come, if you don't know your breast, you may not notice the changes. So you have to know your breast so that you'll be able to see the changes that will come. Yes.
And then the importance of faith. You mentioned that you're a firm believer.
Yes.
The importance of faith, be it religious, be it any other religion, or how important is it?
I was brought up to believe in God is the utmost power. So all my faith I put in God, all my trust I put in God, and I've seen God working. If you believe something works for you, it will work. It's a mind game, and but I would say that mind game works. Well, psychologically they say it's a mind game, but I tell you that it works. If you are a Christian and you believe that God heals, God will really heal you. Like I was telling you that I trusted that He would heal me, and I would cling to the promises that are in the Bible, and those promises in the Bible made me firm. They kept me going, and it's just about having faith in something. And as of me, like I'm saying that I'm a Christian, so the realm of the spirit kept me going. So when I was fighting my cancer, I would say that I actually learned new songs, and I learned about new verses. I'd always read the Bible, but there are some verses that started to make sense when I was on my journey fighting cancer, and there are some artists that I didn't even know about. I will take you through a song, if you don't mind.
It's okay.
Okay, it's a Tekshua Zama song. Iwe Chirwere. He says, Iwe Chirwere, hauna simba, muviri wangu, itemberi ya mwari. That song gave me strength. That song fought with me. It gave me the energy to wake up every day, because I would be like talking to this cancer and saying, who has permitted you? Who has allowed you? This is the temple of the Lord. So I said, God, if I belong to you, if I am your temple, you have to fight with me, fight this cancer, let it go. Yes.
Someone just said on our Facebook that you need to be a motivational speaker, because you are giving hope to a lot of women who had lost hope.
Oh, really? Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is why I asked about support groups.
Okay. Thank you so
maybe
much.
Lastly, what words of advice would you give to women probably who haven't gone through what you went through, and maybe who are yet to screen themselves, or who are going through what you went through, and who are probably who are facing the same life that you are facing right now?
I would say don't fear. And I would say there is nothing to fear. There is life after cancer. Cancer is treatable. Cancer is curable. All you need is to be diagnosed early. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Rumbidzai, for gracing our show, Meet the Press with me, Lovejoy. We hope to be coming to you for more of these. I hope we can serialize this. Maybe we can have 1 or 2 more episodes with you, so that we can learn a lot from your experiences.
Okay, thank you so much.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.